Okay, so VG10 Animal Mother, you've made that. You made that. I haven't watched the second one yet. I'm a little behind, but I watched the first video on the economy cowboy long gun stuff, and I don't disagree with really anything that you've said in that. By and large, I think so. For instance, for me, liking 25-06, it comes down to me really nerding out about stuff and getting very specialized. Because I think when you start getting into certain calibers, it becomes much more specialized. And if I didn't shoot 25-06, I'd probably shoot 6.5 Creedmoor. And there's a reason for that. I primarily like to run around in the desert and hunt pronghorn antelope. So that's where those calibers come into their own. It also works really good for mule deer. Those calibers are a little big for coyotes, but they work for that. They're maybe a little small for elk, but with good shot placement, not an issue. And even realistically, I've kind of come to the conclusion that speed kills. The last white-tailed deer I took with my 25-06, and that put that deer down like you wouldn't believe. And whitetail are pretty tough, especially northern whitetail. But getting into kind of what's ideal in terms of calibers, I think, and this is my own personal thing, if I'm suggesting to somebody like what they should get for a first rifle kind of thing, like I'm talking like a serious centerfire hunting rifle, okay? There's a handful of cartridges and I'm like, that's what you want to go with. I think 270, 308, 30-06, all excellent choices. Like you said, ammunition is, as reasonable as centerfire ammunition gets. You can find it anywhere, so if you go on a hunting trip someplace and your ammunition gets separated or whatever, which you should be carrying a couple boxes in a couple different places, but whatever. That kind of works. And I put another thing on this. If you live east of the Mississippi, I'd put 30-30 in there too. That's me. I also think that 7 Rem mag is a very good option. I think that's probably one of the, if you wanted like a larger effective centerfire rifle, I'd put that in there too. I know you're cringing when I say that, because that's not even the 270. You're probably cringing. But that's I think that those types of rifles are they're well suited for majority of the things you're going to use a rifle for. A lot of people in North America, they go, well, I want to be future proof, so I'll get a rifle that's good for anything in North America. So even if I go to Alaska for a brown bear, what's the minimum caliber I'm legally allowed to shoot? And I believe it's 300 Win Mag. That's why you see so many of them. Myself personally, I like 300 Win Mag better than 30-06, but what I like better than 300 Win Mag is 338 Win Mag. I've never owned one, but I've shot them and they're pretty good. And you also mentioned like Africa. Africa is interesting because I think most of your like large pachyderms. I think you're right. I think the minimum legal caliber is 375 H&H. I could be wrong. Maybe it's a 416. I don't know. And in terms of like, I don't know. I guess that'd be Plains game. Like they've got like their version of wild pigs out there, and different types of deer and impalas and shit like that. I think you'd be surprised how much of that gets taken with a 243. I'm not a 243 fan. I own a 243. I've hunted with a 243. I It just wasn't for me. I'll put it that way. And what else? Oh, you're talking like action types. Myself, and to me, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of bolt actions, and I'm a fan of bolt actions for a few reasons. Generally, generally, bolt actions are more accurate. Just because of the way the action locks up and stuff like that. Generally, they're simpler. They're more reliable, lighter. Things of that nature. If whatever, if you get even just to clean it, I mean, it's easy to pull a bolt out of a bolt action, right? There's not a lot of clockwork to the thing. But I think that covers everything that was talked on that video. Anyhow, I'm saying a lot today. I don't know. Everyone, take care.